Hi friends, nice to see you all back again. Let's hope we're not starting too early. Some of the people who normally come haven't shown up yet, but sometimes they can forget. But that's okay. Anyway, I have a very good friend of mine, Mrs. Lata Ramani here, who's going to present us her trip to Colombia. Recently she has just been there and she was telling me about it. And I thought it would be an interesting thing to show. We all had certain impressions. Did it go away? No, it's just a flash. Now is it okay? Yes. Well, recently she had been to Colombia, and I asked her, how was Colombia? So she said she found it a lot of fun. And I've known her for the last 15 years or more, and we usually enjoy traveling. So she goes on her own, and I go on my own too. But I have one of my former travel mates here today. We've been to Russia, South America. We did the land part of South America. Her name is Usha Divani. And we did the cruise around South America. And we did Russia, a cruise from St. Petersburg to Moscow. So anyway, and my other friend who is here is Kim Evans. I've known her for many years also. So they're visiting with us today, supporting Lata. So anyway, let me hand the mic over to
It's going on and off.
Lynn, could I have you go over to activities and tell them that the mic is not working continuously? Yeah. Can you tell activities that the mic is going off and on?
Certainly.
Thank you. Hi, David. Here's David. David Lowe used to be my classmate in college from 50 years ago. And we didn't have any contact until we met here. So welcome, David. And Lynn has gone to check on the problems with the mic. But maybe Lata can start in the meanwhile?
I'm fine, I'll
So
be loud
you'll have
enough
to-
here, so.
You'll have to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Sharila, for giving such a wonderful introduction to me and giving me this opportunity to come and do a presentation on Colombia. Travel has become my passion of life, or maybe the reason I want to keep living, so I can keep traveling too. Srila wanted to say something about myself. So as you know, by the look of my face, I am from India. Born in India, but came here at a very early age. I've been here over 53 years. And as time goes by and we see all these lovely White House people with Indian spouses or whoever, I'm more proud to tell everyone I am from India too. Because now people will have to look at the map of the world and figure out where India is. Anyway, I think my injection, I call it, for traveling was put by my mother. My mother used to love to travel, and she had 9 children. We were from a very big family, but she had to grab 2 and 3 kids every time when she left town. And I think I was the lucky one to just go with her. Most of my travels were definitely in India, mostly by train in those days. And the very first time I sat on an airplane was when I left India to come to America 53 years ago. Just to give you an idea, then I started smelling what I call the foreign countries or the world around me. And my first stop, just so I go back to was London. And So I don't know how many of you have traveled or need to travel or would like to travel, but one of the funnest place I still like to go back if I can go often is London, for whatever reason. In the last 15 years, when I lost my job, I decided I can't live a full life if I don't make good choices. So I chose to take a retirement because my job closed on me, not because of my performance, because the country was going through the recession at that time. And I decided that I need to be in control of my time so I can travel. So I decided to become a substitute. So I had worked for the school district in the Walnut Creek area. And so for the last 13 years I've been still working, I still work, and I'm a school substitute.
I'm so sorry.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's a little
You gotta hold
better.
it, you gotta hold it
Okay.
closer to your mouth.
Okay.
If
No.
it stops working, it's because it died. We were left out yesterday by
Yeah, the
someone,
battery.
so they didn't get charged. So, but keep it close to your mouth.
Okay, I'll do
Sorry
that.
about the interruption, everyone. Thank you.
So where was I? Yes, I was talking how I changed my work life. And maybe one of the attractions of changing my work life was to travel. So 15 years ago, when I changed from being a full-time worker to being a substitute, I decided that I have to travel. And I can tell you in, 13 years, I've probably done about 30 trips. I tried to keep count of it. Not that I didn't travel before that with my husband. My husband was a cruiser. So I've done like 18 cruises. But there seemed to be a little boredom in that. Towards the end of my 17 and 18 cruise, I entered a ship and said, oh, another chandelier. Oh, another dining room. Because it was just the same thing. I wanted to be on land. And I tell people when I go on the trip, I go to walk the earth. Now I want to be on land. We're going to focus on Colombia because that was the trip that I took between April and May of this year. A little of Colombia, why that came into my mind. Of course, I had read about it that Colombia was not a safe country, and because they were very high on drug cartels and a lot of murders in that country, and very much probably a disrupted government at one time. And I remember my son going there for a bachelorette party, and I was warning him of all the things. You've got to keep your passport inside your pants. If somebody wants your money, give it away to them. But he had gone for a bachelorette party. But when he came back and I told him how much I wanted to see that country, he said, you can't go alone, Mom. And that time there was a lot of police presence on the road and things like that. Anyway, I started hearing that Colombia was getting cleaned up. And I was keeping my eyes open, and I knew my one friend did it last year, and she was repeating it again because some of the friends were going to do it. So the moment I saw her putting this trip out, I jumped into it as I'm going, period. So anyway, where was I with? I wanted to give an idea about Colombia, how dangerous it was. And I'm looking at everybody here now. I don't know, I didn't even take like a vote. A lot of you have traveled in life before. A lot of you are still traveling. A lot of you need to catch up with a lot of traveling. I don't know what, but whatever it is, if you don't keep going, you're not seeing the world. You've got to keep traveling. At least that's for me. I'm expressing my personality. Anyway, so here is Colombia. I have to tell you who I went with and all. So anyway, I joined a group of people that I met in Croatia 6 years ago. Wonderful group of people, where one of the ladies who's from Florida, I think she was a sister or sibling in my last life. She was so good to me in Croatia. We clicked so well that the people in the bus thought that we were traveling together, but we had just met. And they kept in touch, and I didn't go for the trips in between, and they all bonded till this trip came up. I actually, as you see the slides, I like to take someone locally because I like to have company in the plane to go from the same airport. And I did have a friend who was very anxious to travel and has traveled with me many times before, but she had health reasons and she backed off. And that was a big decision I had to make. Do I cancel my trip or do I go? So I decided I'm going to go because this can happen over again in my life and I don't need to miss out. Everything worked to my favor. Actually, 50% of the trip I went for was the people I was around. I can close the country and I could have enjoyed the trip. 50% was Colombia that came up to me to be so nice. I was relaxed in that country. Maybe that's the comfort zone I want to give you. Okay, so as you see, that's just my face copy of my presentation, showing that Colombia is a very colorful country. So, I want to give people an idea where Colombia is situated on the world map. If you see Colombia there, it's got Brazil, Venezuela, Peru on one side. It's got Ecuador on the corner side over there. Across the water, they have Panama and Costa Rica on the top left. I have to let you know that I did go to Ecuador about a year ago and knew how close I was to Colombia, and I wanted to go run from one country to another country. But the tour company that I have been very comfortable with didn't have tours adjoining. So I decided, okay, I'll go back to America, go back to Colombia. But you can see how close I was to it a year ago. And so I had to look up, even though I travel a lot, but there's a lot of research you do because you've never been educated enough in life. But Colombia, I had to find out, is it in Central America or South America? So just to clarify, it's a part of South America. And the thing you're seeing right here is I travel with a company called Gate One Travel. There are many, many tour companies, but I have been very comfortable with Gate One, and I just finished my 23rd trip with them.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're going to get my business, so I have to keep working hard for that too. So if you see, where they took us is we flew into Medellin. So somebody tell you this pronunciation changes. You can call it Medellin, like a bad pair of jeans. Medellin.
Medellin is Spanish.
Spanish. Medellin is Colombian. And a lot of people say Medellin, if they don't know the phonics of other languages. So we flew into Medellin, then we flew into Cartagena, and then we came to Bogota, and we came back home. Just to give an idea before we go further, Medellin is where the cartel problem was, the killing, the drugs. Cartagena is such a beautiful place. I wanted to come out of my plane and get into another plane to go back to Cartagena. You can see it's got the water there. Cartagena has the Caribbean Sea, and of course the country has the Pacific Ocean at the same time. So there's a lot of clean blue water there. And Bogota is the capital of Colombia, government seat, okay? So we put together some things here. I know you can read on your own, but Colombia is a country, you had to say, located in South America, bordered by Panama, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, and Ecuador. And then, of course, the coastal region has the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean that I just mentioned. The Andes Mountains is another topic there. I can go down. The languages, of course, is Spanish. And then they have, English is quite easy there. I think you need some Spanish speaking in the group. And then they have their own local tribal languages. So it was owned by Spain, and they gained the independence from Spain in 1819. The way the world looks at Colombia is they look at it as a third world country. But I don't think today in life there's anything a third world country unless you go to a place where you don't get food to eat. That's the way I look at a third world country. But anyway, we would call it a middle income economy based because they have their own resources. So while I'm right there, they are very proud of their coffee, and they say they have the best coffee in the world. They are very, very in demand for the emeralds. They also have the best emeralds. And then they grow a lot of tropical fruits. Actually, go next. I think I've said the emeralds and everything. So the picture you're seeing here is the murals in Medellin. The place we went there is called Comuna 13. So our tour company did not have this in the itinerary. Our group went there 2 days early to actually see Comuna 13. So Comuna 13 actually was the notorious and crime and has now undergone a remarkable transformation. And what they made it is such a beautiful tourist attraction. The tour guide told us that there were like 30 murders a day in this area. And there was so much of money laundering going on because of the drugs. They had the artists, not only in Colombia, but around the world, the best of Spain, the best of everywhere, who have come and painted this whole area called Comuna 13 and have made it a very, they have beer gardens and they have Latino music going on. It's a lovely day out. Yeah. Okay, here you see me. I had to put in some of my pictures, otherwise how do I prove to you that I was there? So, see, now the residents are no longer afraid to leave their homes and to go there. And like we said, there are a lot of fruit vendors, empanadas, typical the Spanish food, the green mango ice cream. So of course I wanted to get that Comuna 13 picture just in case it goes back to the old system and I'll never go back. But hopefully they don't have problems. The next picture you see there is oh, that's okay. It's a very cute restaurant right there in the Comuna 13. I mean, the decor was just so amazing. But one of the things we learned to drink there, a lot of the drinks they have there are made with lime and lemons. And so what I had taken was a coconut lemonade. It was so delicious. I thought I got the recipe, but I don't think I can reproduce the same thing at home. So who knows, I'll have to go back again to drink it. So here what you see is, I was quite fascinated when the tour guide explained to us. This was actually, we came by a bus and then we had this cable car ride to get to the other side of the hill where, just to get a ride to go to Comuna 13. Very impressed, and I wonder sometimes when the other side of the countries are doing it, why America doesn't adopt some of their ideas. This is the only city in Colombia that has this cable car system as a public transportation. They do not want the streets to be full of traffic for anyone. The stations are pretty close. For the local people, it's quite cheap. They literally take a bike and they come to the station, a couple of people can have bikes and another 2-3 people can sit down, and they go to the next station, get on the bike and go to work. And they are planning to do this in Bogota, which is the capital, because it's traffic and all there. And I'm saying this, I was very fascinated. I live in Walnut Creek. For people who haven't come there, I have to go 7 miles on a street called Ignacio Valley Road. You go on a commute time is 45 minutes. Ignacio Valley Road is so crowded, they need to make it a double level road over there. Going to work in the morning, you get the blood pressure before you reach work. When you come home, you wish you were not working because it takes so long to come home. So to me, I wish something like this would even come on my Walnut Creek. And I think it would make it so easy for the people there. And everywhere else. Los Angeles has traffic. New York has traffic, everywhere, but they need to adopt something like that. Oh yeah, so that's the view actually when I was in the cable car of what we were passing by. That's how we are approaching to Comuna 13, and this is how people live. And I'm pretty sure when you're at base, they're very ordinary homes, but up from the cable car, it looks so beautiful, like I would have loved a little summer house myself over there. So this was one of our options of our tour, and it's a flower show that we go for. They had guidelines for this, so yeah, it's a big tradition there. I think once a year they have a very big parade for 4 hours. There are rules for the parade, and we visited this home because he's a part of the tour company who lets us come in and have a nice explanation. But so he is the owner. They have to be of the original population, not an Indian going there and doing it. They are trying to keep the locals alive, is what I would say. So some of the rules are, every flower that you would see over there is grown by them. And of course, now they have these tour companies. So they had, that is just like a done dried flower thing, and that one too, the second and third. That one, he actually made it in front of us on the fourth one. These things become 200 pounds heavy, and they have to carry it at such an angle that they do not hurt their back and do not get that tired. Because when they have the main parade, there's not one of them, there are about 60, 70 of them that carry that 200-pound load, and they walk for 4 hours. And there's only one winner that day. So I believe he's taken quite a few prizes. Next one. Yeah, why did I put this picture in? I kind of wondered, but it's something because I think I was privileged.
Two good-looking guys.
Yeah, good-looking guys was the number one reason. So the person in the purple shirt was our tour guide through our entire trip. He flew with us from city to city. That other good-looking guy looked more good-looking an hour before that. He came into the bus. He's a local guide for the day. And he came into the bus with a lovely, cute-looking ponytail and this lovely beard. I'm going to let you know, this bus tour generally takes people 50 and over. I mean, it's not that they don't want young people, but it's the kind of people that go for this bus tour. Everybody was drooling for him. I cannot even tell you. I mean, the moment he walked in, there was one lady, Diana, and she's Puerto Rican, and she just said, he's mine, nobody can even have him for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But she did not come for this flower show, and I went. And of course, I'm a talker, as you can see. I talk to every local person that I can. And of course, I got friendly with the local guide, and before we were leaving, I said, I need a picture with you, but I didn't want to exclude him. I needed the one with that other guy. And when I took it back to the hotel and I showed Diana, she was just like, you cannot have a picture with him and I don't have it. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say of this tour guide is, there's so much fun in traveling. And that is maybe the fun I enjoy. I meet people, I like to talk, I like to have a little excitement. So that was just the excitement for the day. Yeah, so that was our day one of sightseeing when we went to Comuna 13. It was on our own time. So now I'm with the whole tour group, and we are going to maybe one of the most known sightseeing called Guatape. We will get to Guatape, but they didn't tell us. On the way to Guatape, they stopped at this animal farm. It was so nice, it was so relaxing. I'm not an animal person, I run away from animals. But these animals come, you can see me how close I am. They don't come and touch you, they just come and like look at you, like you're their relative or something, I don't know. But my first picture, they were baby ones. And of course they sell carrots, so you buy a whole bunch of carrots to feed them. And I just was enjoying it so much. And I said, where will I get something in a countryside, in a country I'm enjoying so much? And then you see the other ones, and the other one.
What animal is that?
I think they're are they llamas? What are they?
Llamas.
Llamas, right? Yeah. I mean, there were even goats. I think the baby one I'm feeding down there is a goat, baby goat.
No, llama.
Yeah, that could be there. Alpaca, because in South America, Peru and all, alpacas are there. So anyway, the lovely little Jeep you see there is the coffee shop there. It's so cute. I need pictures that are so cute. And then the last one there, they have just around where the parking lot is, a lot of these little wheelbarrows with all these flowers. And I just think I will shine where the flowers are, because the flowers are so beautiful, so I go and stand by the flowers. So here we have come to Guatape, okay? You see, I'm going to read that to you and I can explain to you. A rock formation that borders a lake. It formed along the Antioquia rock base 70 million years ago. I don't even know how much is a million, but 70 has to be a lot. With 2/3 of its height below ground, which I never knew till I read that on the Google. 2/3 is below the ground. The exposed vertical face is over 656 feet high and visible from all surrounding areas. Visitors can scale the rock, like go up the rock through the staircase. You see that little zigzag white thing? That's the staircase to go up. 708 steps. Okay. Yeah, so there is a charge to go up $7. But if you go up, you need to walk down. They do not have an elevator and they don't have a cable car coming down. So obviously, Madam did not climb up. I go for a vacation to relax, to enjoy. So I don't tend to do too many adventurous things other than enjoying a country. Huh? And the eating will come too. I have lovely pictures of that. So anyway, so that is Guatape. It's very, you look there, you look in front of it, and you say, I can see it in pictures, but I'm here in real. I'm seeing it, and it's quite amazing. So we went to the restaurant to have some beer and all, and this is the balcony of the restaurant that faces this lovely view. It looked, of course, then I'm there and I'm eyeing it. It looks so beautiful then I see it in a picture. But that's why I will say, oh, let me get a picture. See how pretty it is. My little picture down there, I put it in because I think that was such a fun half an hour I had. So it's a restaurant, it's called Donde Sam. Donde Sam means where is Sam? And so I guess that guy's name is Sam, nickname. And I think a lot of tour companies come there. I think he serves Colombian food and Indian food menu. All the chicken tikka masalas were there. And a lot of people stopped there, a lot of tour companies. So our tour company went there. And the moment I entered, I'm saying this to you because it may not make sense to you, but it was the biggest thing, like I'm known around the world type of a feeling. But the moment we went in a group, he looking at me and he says, hello, how are you? And I said, have I met him in my life before in another country? Oh, I said, hi, how are you? Then after a few minutes, because he's little on the fairer skin, I asked him, are you Indian? He said, yes. So of course I asked him if he belonged to a dialect that he looked like, are you Gujarati? He said, no. I said, what are you? He said, I'm a Sindhi. I mean, it may make no sense to you, but I'm a Sindhi. And he was a Sindhi, and wow, he was so excited to see me that my tour group was wondering why he pulled up a chair on the dinner table, on the meal table, and sat with me and told me about his whole life, his second marriage, his restaurant in Dubai, his restaurant in New York, and now in Colombia. Why would you come to Guatape to open a restaurant? Well, that's what he does. He likes to capitalize on the main people. And of course, he's in Colombia because he married a Colombian woman for his second marriage. And anyway, he was very excited. I cannot even tell you, it was like we went back and we found some common friends down the line. And the only thing, I thought he'd give me a free lunch. I mean, all my group thought that the table would get a free lunch. No, he even charged me. But the only thing he gave me is that he said, I wish I could do something for you. I said, you can make me a cup of tea. And don't you have a dessert just to throw in? So I did get a cup of tea and I got some dessert. So.
You did get free lunch?
No, he didn't. I think he's a Sindhi, right?
Oh my goodness.
So Sindhis don't let money go, they get rich. Okay, so this is, so we were at the rock, we ate the lunch, and then right behind walking, we didn't go on the bus, we went to the little downtown of Guatape. How can you go wrong? I mean, this is like colors of life come out over there. My first picture, they are just steps, big steps, and everybody was going up to take a picture. So I decided I better go up, but they're very high steps. I had a couple of people hold my arm to get up there. And when I see things like this there, I want to come back to America and make my front entrance of my house that way, because it's so pretty. But when you come back to America, you can't do what you see in other countries for a reason. In other countries, especially in India, most of our clothes are very bright colored clothes. They're called jewel colors, the emerald, the sapphire, the ruby. We wear those color clothes. I buy those clothes in India and I can't wear it on the streets here because America is a beige, black, and white, and denim jeans. We don't wear a lot of colors in this country. Latin countries, they wear a lot of colors. And you can see they even. So anyway, as you see, we were walking around and these are just streets. Look at that lovely other thing. That's a local taxi. How beautifully it was painted. And then that was a statue right there in the walking area. And look at this
hand paint, they're all hand painted. We see people on ladders sitting and painting the birds and everything. And then I'm a very, very partial person to a bicycle with flowers. Something makes me, and by the way, I have someone give me a free bicycle, it's sitting in my backyard, and that's one of my hobbies to do. I'm going to decorate that bicycle with flowers because that's why I take out pictures. My very first bicycle with flowers I fell in love was in Amsterdam. They have so many bicycles with flowers just there for decoration. Yeah.
So now we are heading to Cartagena. The G's are like a H. And Cartagena is beautiful. Cartagena is a trip I could go back for 10 days and just be there in a different level of my life. So as you see, things are modern there. They're all having skyscraper buildings, hotel area. Let's go to the next thing. Yeah, so one of the nicest things that at least, I'm sure a lot of many tour companies, I'm not selling Gate 1 to you guys, but Gate 1, what they do is when they go to countries of less privilege, they like to sponsor school and they like to take the tour group into the school, and they do tell us if you can bring school supplies, and if you can't carry, give some donation. But the school is so excited to have these people coming from America or who they consider the richer people coming into their school, that they actually practice to do a performance. And this is the performance that the school children did for all of us. I mean, they are such adorable kids. You know, along with that, of course, they will have some soft drinks, and then they have some kind of a local food for us to eat. And the kids, that little girl, she pulled me on the floor and she was like dancing with me, and it was fun. This guy was giving a solo performance, unbelievable, flexible as you can imagine. And then this was a group dance over there. But you know what? The joy on their face really makes you also feel, I don't know, it humbles you in life. It brings you to their level to see, it could be me there. I'm just fortunate to be the one traveling. Yeah, nice. Okay, this is my favorite picture of all time.
Wow, beautiful.
My favorite picture. So this is Cartagena. Okay, it is, of course, the hotel we stayed, we were very lucky. It was way above what we paid for the trip. It was the Hyatt Hotel. We got to know, and I'm not selling this trip, it's only on this trip they give this hotel, they give other hotels, but the owner of the Hyatt and the owner of Gate 1 Travel are very close friends, so he's given them this hotel to use at a very cheap block price. They have to pay block price. I don't think I even had a honeymoon in a hotel of this level, but I got it in my lovely trip. So the first thing is actually the view from the window of my bedroom. Literally, I can open the window and I would see all these lovely white hotels, the water, so peaceful. The first night I decided to go up to the swimming pool level because I wanted to see sunset. But somehow I missed it because the girl who had come up was delaying me, but I did go up. So the second picture you see, I want you to know that the view that you see there is actually the lagoon pool of the hotel. Trips are very tiring. Trips have so many plans in between. I carry my swimsuit every time, and not too many times do I get to go to the pool. I did not get to go to that pool. I just couldn't make that 30 minutes to go up there and enjoy it. And you can see how beautiful it is. The water just flows down the building. It's like an infinity pool. And you know, so that is Cartagena at one shot. And then I came closer up to take my second shot. This is by night, the skyline of Cartagena. And for, of course, people like you don't know, but someday as you hear the names, you'll probably go visit. I have a couple of friends that may identify it. When I stood there in that terrace that night, I almost had tears in my eyes. I said, it's so beautiful. Why do I have to even go out for dinner? I can just be here. And I love to take my little alcohol with me. And so I actually did take my glass of scotch and soda and went up there. So nothing could be more perfect. My little drink, my view of the town. And for family that I had to express what Cartagena was, we have a very beautiful area in Bombay, India. It's called Marine Drive.
It's called the Queen's Necklace, the way it looks in the nighttime. It's the Queen's Necklace. It's so beautiful. I don't go back to India that often. I've been here for too many years. But when I stood there, that was my first image. I was missing Bombay. And I turned around and said, this is Marine Drive in paradise. Because Cartagena is paradise for me. So to me, everything I spent on the trip was absolutely, I came back a very happy face. So this is Cartagena downtown. So you see all the downtowns have the very Latino look, colorful thing. And look at picture 1, 2. Like I said, I want to come back and paint my bars different colors. And then when I come here, I say, no, it will look like an odd little house in this neighborhood. So I can't do it. So you can see these lovely things that you walk through in the night. So this actually was the top restaurant in Cartagena, Candy. You can see how many gold bars that are down there, Michelin level. Candy has been named the best restaurant in Cartagena. Once we stepped through the restaurant's door, we understood why. The popular restaurant, whose lively atmosphere serves authentic Colombian food, with a large selection of fresh seafood dishes, soups, stews, and grilled meats, and the ambiance is like walking into a well-traveled foodie Instagram. Whoever wrote that wrote it very appropriately. So these are some of the pictures on our table of the food. We didn't take out too many, and I can't put 20, 30, but you can see, why I try to express is, I think about 20, 30 years ago, and I'm saying this because I've been here for 50 years, America was the top country, the best New York restaurants, the best thing. Well, the world is no longer round, it's all flat. Everybody is got everything. And when you see food like this, you can't say it's less than America. Actually, it's better than America because of the cost of living being less. You can afford eating it there. And I'll give you some price range of what we paid. You'll be amazed how you can get great food there. So this is Getsemani. I hope I can even say it correctly. This is the downtown of Cartagena in the night, very vibrant, very bustling. In every street corner has history, Getsemani and art, making it a unique neighborhood. And as you see, restaurants, music, and just to give you an idea. Yeah, next. Some more pictures of downtown in the night. You can see there's clubhouse. People went to do some Latin dance. I forgot what they went for. I didn't. I get tired by the end of the day traveling. Okay. So on this day that we woke up, the tour company had an optional tour that we did not take. By the way, I need to get back. Medellin, mediocre temperature, like comfortable. A little light sweater is good. You go to Cartagena, 90 degrees, humid, sweat. But that didn't stop me because I've come from a warm country and I have too much arthritis here. And when I get my sunshine and heat in another country, my arthritis is gone. And I like to drink a beer and I like to have an ice cream. So there's no complaint about heat for me. So here, I'm said that because I had to get back to this. So they actually had a optional tour to do I say it right? Aviary? Where the birds are. Aviary, okay. So I didn't go for it for $80. I'm not going to have another bird sit on my shoulder. I've done it on Venice Beach in LA. I've done it in other countries. So I said no. And then of course, our group realized it's such a hot day, humid day, why go there? So my tour leader, which I'm going to talk a little later on because she has been absolutely an amazing lady, she had decided, she had gone a year before, and she had kind of felt out the whole area and then made the best choice. She decided that we're going to take a boat trip for the day in the waters of Cartagena. And she did make all the reservation possible. And that morning she got an email that the boat didn't have enough people, so they canceled it. Now, we just sat down in the hotel breakfast and said, whatever you decide, you need to do it. So So she organized actually another boat trip for us, but it was not a big boat. It was a boat that would take no more than 10, so it was all people that we knew on the boat. And to give you an idea, $75. Why would I pay $79 to see birds when I can have $75 to be out for 8 hours on the water? And anyway, here I am, and these are very memorable pictures for me. The first picture you see there, don't ask me what I'm doing in the water, I don't know how to swim, but I'm in the water. I am with Samantha. Samantha was my roommate, and she also happened to be my friend's husband's sister. And since my roommate backed off from here, I was going to go solo, which means I have to pay $400 more, and her roommate backed off, and she was going to pay solo for $400 more. So my friend called me and said, would you like to room with her?
But is he proposing you? Oh, yeah.
What?
Is he proposing you?
I wish he was, because he was very romantic. But let's get back to that picture, because that's such a story of my life. And I told my son, he looked at my face, he says, I'm not giving you permission to travel after this. But anyway, so Samantha, I have to speak 2 words of her. She calls me still, she lives in the East Coast area, and I don't know why she is so comfortable with me. And she calls and chats with me like little things of her house. Her husband upsetted her, she's going to not talk to him for half a day. I mean, we become such close friends. So anyway, I landed up leaving her roommate, and I was so blessed because now they've got trips coming next year to Poland and all, and she calls me, she says, I'm going to go to Poland. I want you first as my roommate before I look for another one. So I love that. Okay, let's sail the water. So we were not in a very big boat, but all of these people are water people, and they just jumped, okay? And then, come on down, Lata. And I said, no, I don't know how to swim. Oh no, wear a float. And, wear a float. So let me tell you the float. I didn't wear the float on the top because they thought that I need to be much more higher. They put the same float where the arms went through my 2 legs and like a diaper. If you can see the float at the bottom, they said that you'll be up in the water bobbing away. Anyway, I couldn't even get down. I've had a left knee surgery. I can't bend it to the level of jumping like that. And so, I can't come down this way. I can't come down that way. Oh no, I'll go from the back side. Then the guy from the boat said, oh, there's a rope. Why don't you hold the rope? So you can see, I've just got into the water and I'm holding the rope and screaming for my life because I did not know it was ocean level water.
Wow.
I don't swim. I just know how to back float should a plane crash. My first thing I'll do is get on my back and keep breathing till someone rescues me. That's all I've learned in life. So my roommate was so nice. She's already bought a $10 drink from that other boat, which is a pineapple with a rum in it or whatever. And she's holding her drink and saying, come on over, come on. And I said, she can balance in water. I'm holding her arm, but I'm not letting go of the rope because I was so scared. Anyway, to get to the point, even when I left the rope and they're telling me, we're leaving you, you're not going to drown. Guess what I was doing automatically? I was getting on my back because that's the only thing I've learned to be in water. Get on your back and float. And when I was getting on my back, guess what was happening to me? My entire body was sliding under our boat. I could not know how to stand up straight. So I did it, and when I did come back to the boat, I must have prayed to every Indian god. Oh my God, I didn't. Oh, they said, you're not going to die. You're going to float. I said, no, I'm going to die of a heart attack. I'm so terrified. So I literally came back and said, okay, done it once, I'll never do it again. Even though I think I'll survive the next time, I don't need that kind of adventure. The next picture. So this is the waiting area for the boats, okay, when we were all sitting and collected. I don't know why I got Adolfo's picture. Adolfo is the guy I met for the first time. He came in our group. So give you an idea, and this is important for me to tell you to see how comfortable I was on this trip. So the bus had 37 people. Our group personally were 13 of us. Now this is a lady, Doree, that I met, typical white American, redhead, freckled face. So you can imagine, there's nothing common in us when it comes to looks, but she met me in Croatia and she
literally gave me the love of a family member and has such a good heart. She makes friends everywhere. And she's a good planner. She does not go for expensive things. She makes it that everyone can afford it. But anyway, so talking of Deri, I have to just tell you, because we always have this question answers in the tour group. How many have you taken with Gate One? What was your favorite country? Yeah, and of course she was that's why she's so comfortable with everyone. She says Asia is her favorite part of the world to go visit every time. But anyway, she met Adolfo in one of her trips to Greece. It's not even someone, she meets people and people just add on with her. And Adolfo is from Bogota, his father's dead, so he was going to stay longer. He could speak Spanish, it's so good for us, all the taxi drivers that have to be bargained with. And he jumped in for everyone. I couldn't get on the swing. I was slipping out. That poor guy came to hold the swing and said, go in the swing, I'll get your picture. So anyway, I'm going to travel if he goes another trip with them. He takes care of you little aging people, is what I call. Okay, so here we are now in Bogota, we're coming. So I have to show you this, it was a very fun afternoon. The national game is called Tejo. And they take us to this place, we all get to drink a beer and we all get to play a game of Tejo. And I think it's like how we would go for bowling in America. But it's basically, as you see the end of it, it's got little gunpowders around. And you have little stones and you have to take the stone and try to get it to the center and then the gunpowder bursts open, you know? And it depends where it bursts, you have scores. But that's just the point system. Not something that I would want to read out to. Yeah, next. Okay, so Bogota is the capital of Colombia. It's the seat of the national government. It's the largest city of Colombia. It's a city in 20 localities, and I don't worry about that. 8 million people. It's a home of multinational companies. I'm trying to skip some of the things. There's a whole, one of the main things there is the Gold Museum that we attended is right there. And it's got, and that's about it. Let's go to the next one. So this was another optional tour, and I did not go. It's called the Salt Cathedral. And there are only 3 of them in the world. 2 of them are in Poland and 1 over there. And I didn't go for a reason because there were like 500 steps to walk down. Also, I was taking a flight that night and I didn't want to come back so tired I couldn't make it to airports after that. But I wouldn't even go down for the steps. But as you can see, it's very pretty. My friend took all the pictures out. It's a lot to do with the cross and cathedral images inside. But this is how well they've lit it inside. Let's show you the pictures here. Okay, so this is exactly my personality. Every country I go to, I like to always feel good about what is their national airline. I love planes. I think I love to travel by plane because when I sit down, I like to ring the bell and get my drink. That's when I leave my housework and go relax. A lot of people don't like planes, but I like planes. So Avianca, that is the national airline of Colombia. And so I obviously, last moment we were getting there, I decided. The next picture you see is, look at that building. It has to be like a fairyland building. It's called actually Park 93, in Spanish, De La 93. And it was just 3 blocks from our hotel. And it is one of the things that we had spent time to, while people went to the Salt Cathedral, I with a few friends went to stroll around this area. So, yeah, next one. So, when you go into Park 93, everything inside is like the telephone booth. I mean, and they got no big restaurant inside, but kiosks, ice cream, coffee, Danish kiosks, all decorated with pink and flowers. It's just very relaxing. The other pictures of this is, that's how Colombia is. Even Bogota has all these murals in the street, very colorful. I'm sure they all say a story. That's why you see some angry faces or some whatever faces. But when you're there, you can get the story of it. Okay, now you see that's also Park 93. How pretty it is.
If you enter through the thing, inside it's got a children's park, it's got the food, it's got just nice. It's just nice to go and like we do over here. So here it is, fruits of Colombia. So I'm a big fruit person. I love tropical fruits. I carry a knife and a spoon in my luggage everywhere I go because I don't know where I'm going to pick up a fruit and when I need a knife to cut it. The number one fruit in that country is lemon. Number two fruit in growth and taste and everything is mango. So these are the fruits that I try and I love it. I'm a big mango eater, even here. The next is called anon. Oh, in my thing I changed it. It's called ANONE. That's a Colombian name for it. This fruit comes in different varieties and different countries call it differently. So in Mexico they call it cherimoya. If you see in the grocery store, it's $12.99 a pound. One of them can be a pound and a half. I'm not spending $20 to eat something I can get for $1 in another country. That fruit, I got the best quality of that fruit in Spain. I got the best quality in Australia, and you get it in Vietnam. And Vietnam they call it soursop, and we get it in India. We use the British name called custard apple. It's very custardy inside, but it's delicious. So if you ever get a chance. Coconut is another thing. I love coconut water for two reasons. It's sterile, it's no germs. You crack a coconut, you're not going to get the stomach bug like you would drink regular water. So drinking coconut water is very safe. The other fruit looks very much like a passion fruit. It's in the family of passion fruit, but it is their fruit. It's called granadilla, D-I-L-L-A, granadilla. You literally, it looks hard, but you crack it like an egg. You just hit it on the table and it opens into two pieces and you take a spoon and eat it directly from inside it. It has seeds and I was so scared because I get diverticula and I said, I'm not going to eat any seeds, and everybody says, no, these seeds will biodegrade in your body. So I ate it. Compared to a passion fruit is a little tart. This is sweeter. So anyway, next one here. Okay, so you have to, I always like to, so I'm not a big food person to take out pictures, like friends go to restaurants here, they put on Facebook all the little things they're ordering. I always tell myself, haven't they seen food? This is the last thing they're eating. Huh? But I decided I would take this picture to remember to come home and cook it. That's why I wanted to take a picture. So when we went for the boat ride, we went to a resort over there, and that is where the first dish is what I ordered. I didn't know this is how it's coming. It was an eggplant dish. I have to tell you, when I dug into it, it was so delicious. We have an eggplant dish even in India, but this had such a unique taste. I ate every bit of it. The next was my friend's thing and Samantha's dish, and they use a lot of, you can see black eye bean. Their protein is putting black eye bean in rice and stuff like that with some of the spices, with the rice, And like I did this picture because it was so big, this thing. Like every country has lots of food to eat. You can even get a dessert like that. And I'm also giving you an idea because that was a resort, and I had a beer and that dish. With the tip and everything, my credit card showed $14. So obviously, I'm not saying that you can go and eat 3 portions and gain weight, but it's one of the least things you worry when you eat food there. Okay, then I did some more little picture taking, another reason to go to Colombia's food. And this is some of the food that we ate. The very top dish was in our own hotel. We didn't want to walk out, we decided to go to the restaurant. And I love crepes, so I ordered chicken and mushroom crepe. I could only eat 1 crepe. I saved the second crepe for the next day. My bill came only $9.72. I'm letting you know this because you always say, oh, I went to Paris and I spent $80 on a lunch. So this is this thing. My friend ordered that. I did not like the description, but when it came, I was so amazed. You can see that
That's a banana wafer. They fry it in a way, the way it stands. Those are 3 pieces of fish. It wasn't even that expensive. The first one on the right-hand side is coated in coconut flakes. The second one was in white and black sesame seed. And the third one was in oats. And I did have a bite of it and I said, why didn't I order it? And I'm not a seafood person, but I enjoyed it. And then pizza, like I always tell Americans, don't worry, you're not stuck with local foods. You'll get your hamburger there, you'll get your pizza there, you'll get your McDonald's too. All those show up in those countries. So that's the food part. I think it's at the end. Yeah. I wanted to end it with the food so that you guys all know you have to find your own good reason to travel. I don't know if anybody in this crowd has gone to Colombia. And if you have a desire, go. Go in a group. You feel accounted for and you're safe. And the language is, the tour guides take care of it. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your.
For such a great presentation, and as usual, the volume is not there. If you have any questions for Lata, please go ahead. Any questions?
How are the drugs there? The status of the drugs?
Oh, they are very much under control. I heard that about 5 years ago, the government decided to put the military on the road and stop this. Of course, local people were scared because they told us there were like 30 murders a day in Medellin. Medellin was more prevalent with this cartel drugs and all. That's why they turned that area where it's like, you go, you may be shot, something as that. But I think every Latin country has a little fear. And I'm saying that I went to Guatemala, and I was told 10 times by our tour guide, when you sit in a taxi, don't tell them Zona 0. Zona 0 is where all the crime is. Tell them I want to go to Zona 5, Zona 6, where you go and see these high-end Beverly Hills stores, which I'm not interested in seeing Louis Vuitton or something there, but he wanted us to see that part. So I think, I won't say every Latin country, every country in the world. I've traveled enough to make that conclusion. I'm saying this from a more American person because I am American, I've lived here long enough, but a lot of Americans would question me, oh, do you all have this in India? Oh, do they have this in South America? They have such fear. And I say, hey, look at New York, look at your Bronx. What's so perfect about that? Go to San Francisco. I'm a big San Francisco person. I take the BART and go. San Francisco is flooded with homeless people right now and so much of drugs on the road that it smells. I go to the Orpheum Theater to see a play. You have to go through Civic Station where the druggies have half their pants down. I'm saying this because I see it. They have their pants down, they're shooting on themselves with their drugs. It's sad because San Francisco is one of the very desired cities of the world to be visited by people around the world. And the mayor knows it. I think she comes on the TV and they're doing very much to take care of the problem. But part of American government, so I'm saying this because I worked for the school district and I worked with a doctor's child to a homeless person to somebody on government aid. I work with everybody in the school district. And I think what the country does, it makes it available for them to continue doing what they want. Now, a person in San Francisco who is homeless and a druggie still collects, he's not worked, so he doesn't get Social Security, but he still collects general assistance. With general assistance, he also gets food stamps. General assistance is cash. Food stamps, you buy food. All these people are crooked. When they get food stamps, they go buy $20 grocery for somebody and say, here, help me out, I don't need to buy my groceries, give me 20, then they go buy liquor with it, with the cash. That's happening all over, whether it's Walnut Creek, Concord, everywhere, because of the government. Now I heard the mayor of San Francisco come on TV, they're really trying hard to clean up, and now they're deciding that they are going to reward the people in San Francisco. If they're drug-free for a month, they get additional $500. Oh. I know, it's not tax money, but they have to clean it up. So, I mean, and I follow this kind of news because I go to other countries, and when I see something not so nice there, I don't get startled. I just say it's a mix of crowd. We have it here. I mean, I think I've seen New York, but I think my biggest shock was last year when I went to San Francisco. It's really sad there. But so don't worry, go to Latin countries. There are so many good things there. When you travel, don't compare anything to home. Don't compare one country to the other country. When you go to the country, you're there to smell the air, touch the water, walk on the sand. Otherwise, you'll never go around if we make too many demands. So, anything else? I mean, I know you asked, it's safe. It's safe, but I'm not going to leave. It's so safe that nothing can happen. You have to be vigilant. Whether I leave a Safeway store in Walnut Creek, I have to be vigilant. If I leave it at 9:30, 10 in the night, I'm not going to walk in my car and not look left and right. I do it here. I will do it in other countries.
How are the hotels and all, it's safe?
Oh,
Are people breaking in?
no. Actually, I've been going with Gate One, and Usha has done a lot of Gate One. I like this tour company because they have their hotels are more city-based, not remote. And so you have a lot of time when you want to leave the hotel and walk out. And they always tell you, I mean, yeah, I go around here, don't worry, just don't take your camera and start clicking things, someone will grab it. Well, they're doing it here. I don't know if you know, Walnut Creek is, in my opinion, Pleasanton is good. It's quite an upscale community in Walnut Creek. Our downtown is beautiful. But look what's happening there. I mean, we don't know where the kids are coming. Are they coming from Bay Point, Pittsburgh, Martinez? I don't know where they're coming from. Cars are broken in the shopping center in Broadway. Right now, every day something's in the news. They had that big thing about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where there were about 20 cars. They had planned this, and they had removed the license plates from the back. This was on the news here. Maybe you didn't catch on with the news, where they all wore masks and hoodies, and they all went at the same time into Nordstrom and grabbed every high-priced handbags of $400 and $500. They came out. They were what you call so many that the police couldn't stop it. They came planned. And then even when they came and the police were called, and the police is now on the road trying to chase them and give the flashing lights. They give the flashing lights, but cars didn't stop, but they didn't even have a license plate at the back. They were smart. They couldn't even click it. And that was a very big thing in Walnut Creek because I live towards Clayton. And when we said, oh, if Walnut Creek is this way, then what's going to happen anywhere else in the Bay Area? But I think till today I do read. We have a Nextdoor app on our phone, tells us in a nice neighborhood, 2 cars got broken in. Things like that. But you know what I'm trying to say? I'm getting back to my explanation, you have to be vigilant. If you go to a foreign country and have a bad experience, in my opinion, that's called karma. So pray hard and travel. Pray hard and leave your own room here. You have to leave your room, also pray hard. Okay, anything else?
No, great, this was great.